If you're thinking about selling SEO, stop, because this video may scare you. I'm Julian Goldie. I have an SEO link building agency that generates over 6 figures a year, and I owe a lot to SEO, but at the same time, it's far from perfect. And if you don't sell SEO the right way, you'll hate your life, you'll hate your job, and you just want to run away. And the reasons why may surprise you. So that's why you need to keep watching this video. In this video, I'm going to cover 5 reasons why you shouldn't sell SEO, how to avoid those problems, plus how to sell SEO without hating your life. And make sure you stick around to the end, because this video will make you more money, save you time, and number 5 is game changer. So number 1 is the fact that you're going to get some nightmare clients who are a total disaster to work with and that will make your life hell. And when you find a bad client, you know, it's like discovering a crazy ex-girlfriend that's stalking you, that's calling you at 3 a.m. in the morning, that's sending you 200 texts. And it's the exact same with a bad client. They're going to make your life so stressful. And you know, they may demand all sorts of outrageous things. They may be really nasty to you. They may be physically abusive. For example, I had one client that called me an asswipe, and I didn't even know people still use the word asswipe in this day and age. So you have to be very careful about who you work with. When you're selecting and selling the process of SEO, make sure that you're selective with who you work with. Do they seem like rational, reasonable people? Because 95% of the time, you're going to be fine. You're not going to run into this trouble. But when you discover one bad apple, it's going to make your life horrible. And the other thing is, well, this can affect all sorts of other things in your life. So for example, if you have a stressful client that's demanding all sorts of things from you, then it's going to take your focus away from the rest of the business. You're not going to be able to grow. You're not going to have time to do the work that you need to. And when you're at home as well, you're still going to be stressed out because work doesn't stop as soon as you get home. You're still going to have all these sorts of crazy thoughts running through your mind. So that's something else you have to be aware of. And if you don't understand this now, then it's going to cost you so much time and frustration in the future. So now let me ask you a question, right? If you understand SEO, if you genuinely are good at SEO, why are you doing it for other clients? Why are you investing your time, resources, and skills into other people's projects and helping them achieve their goals when you could be doing it yourself and making that sweet passive moolah with your own projects? For me personally, I love helping businesses. I love working with clients when they're not crazy, and I like helping entrepreneurs achieve their goals. And that's exactly why I do client work. The other thing is as well that it generates a lot of money along the way. But at the same time, you need an escape route. Seriously, you don't want to be a 90-year-old link builder doing SEO from a retirement home, plugging away in your laptop with arthritis, right? The biggest thing here is to understand how you're going to get out. How are you going to get away from SEO client work, you know, and what are you going to do to make sure that you actually have your own projects and you don't need to go for anyone else? So that's why I don't recommend doing 100% client work. The other thing is, well, when you have other clients' projects, you know, you can test things, you can see how it works, you can do little experiments that you would never be able to do with a client's website. And that's why you shouldn't just do SEO client work. You know, don't just sell SEO to clients, do it for yourself. And the return that you get from doing it for yourself is going to be far higher than working with a client for a few months or 1 year, for example. If you have a website that's generating you 5 figures a year and it's passive and it's on autopilot, then that's going to make you so much more money and save you so much more time versus working with clients. So you've got to get a balance of both. Now, this is so true right now when coronavirus is hitting and everyone's getting laid off or clients are cutting their budgets, and that means there's less demand for freelancers and agencies, and that may continue for a few months, okay, because we're going to be in the middle of a hard recession. So this is so important to get your head around now, because if you can figure out how to make money on your own without clients, then when something like this happens and you get a big disaster which comes along like every 5 or 10 years, you can support yourself financially and you don't need to worry about relying on anyone else to get paid. And that brings me on to something else about SEO that will make or break your business. So number 3 is the fact that sales isn't for everyone. And you may think, okay, selling SEO is easy, everyone can do it, but that is not true. You know, this is a difficult process and it requires dedication. You're going to get rejected every day. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be savage. And sometimes, quite frankly, sales can be a horrible job. But at the same time, it's extremely rewarding and you can make a lot of money along the way. Now, the other thing as well, that every man and his dog sells SEO. If you check out any junk email inbox, and you'll see a bunch of SEO outreach emails from all these companies in India. So, you know, the competition is on and you're going to have to fight for those sales. But don't worry. So let me tell you a little story. About 10 years ago, I was fired from a job in sales after just a few months. And if you listen closely, you can hear the world's smallest violin. Now, that was a brutal lesson, okay? But at the same time, it was good because it taught me that sales is everything. If you can learn to sell, then you can make money anywhere, okay? Not just in SEO, but in other businesses too. Because when you're an entrepreneur, you're pretty much on a commission-only basis. And if you don't sell, you don't eat, and it's going to be really tough for you. Now, sure, sales is difficult, but at the same time, it's a skill you can learn, you can practice it every day, and if you learn it, it's going to make you more confident, it's going to help you improve your relationships, and it's going to make you far richer in the future, especially if you're playing the long game. So the thing that I had to tell myself was quit being a little bitch, quit being weak, because you have two choices. You can either learn to sell, you can make a lot of money, or you can go back to watching cat memes on the internet. And that's something that's really powerful, especially when you combine it with number 5, which I'll come on to shortly. And this brings me on to number 4, which is the fact that if you can't do a good job of SEO, you probably shouldn't be selling it, because you're only wasting your client's time and your time. And if you screw SEO up, you can screw someone's website up, you can destroy their business, and you have to be so careful with the SEO service you're delivering. So this is a fair warning, is the fact that if you're selling SEO, you have to be confident in the results that you're delivering. So for example, for me, I sell link building and I have loads of case studies, loads of reviews, loads of testimonials that back up the fact that I can deliver a good service. But if you don't have any proven track record, you don't really know what you're doing, or you've never worked in this industry before and you're just trying to make a quick buck, SEO isn't for you, you shouldn't be selling it, and you should avoid it. The biggest problem is that it's going to land badly on you. It's going to hurt your reputation as a seller, and it could damage your personal brand as well. But how does anyone get started? Well, for me, I would recommend, if you're just starting out with SEO, you've not really done it before, number 1, start your own projects, but also try and do pay on performance. So for me, for example, with link building, I only do pay on performance. I only sell backlinks by the amount that I actually build. So this is kind of like a gun to your head strategy where I have to deliver results, where there's a lot of pressure on me, but at the same time, it makes me do my job a lot better. And if I don't build links, I don't get paid. So that's something I would recommend to anyone starting out in SEO, because it will make you focus on the results rather than just trying to make money. Now, make sure you stick around till number 5, because it's a game changer. And this will be the difference between you loving and hating your job in SEO. So the final reason why you shouldn't sell SEO is the fact that delivering SEO and doing SEO every single day is a boring, monotonous grind. And if you're not doing that for yourself, you may hate your job. But this is good and this is bad. And let me explain why, okay? Number 1 is the fact that, okay, yeah, sure, it's boring. You're doing the same tasks every day, especially if you're doing the admin and the grunt work and you're doing all the sort of basic stuff on an SEO site, such as editing meta tags and descriptions and all this sort of stuff. Because sure, the first or the second time you've done it, it's kind of interesting. But then when you get to the 50th or the 100th client that you've worked with, you're going to hate it. You're really going to hate it, honestly. But at the same time, you have two choices, right? So you can burn out, you can keep doing that, and you can just eventually quit SEO because you hate it. Or at the same time, you can outsource everything you possibly can to a team. And when you do this, this is actually an incredibly rewarding, powerful process. It's going to save you hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours, and you're going to work with a bunch of employees and build up an agency that you can slowly scale up. Because the thing is, well, as you scale up and you land more clients and you try and build your agency, you don't have time to do it all yourself. And that's why you need a team around you that you can outsource most of the work to, that you can train up, that you can trust with most of the client's work. And if you do this, wow, it's just so much more rewarding. And actually, the fact that SEO is such a grind is kind of a blessing, because it makes you outsource everything you possibly can. It saves you a lot of time, and it makes you focus on how can you scale up without doing all the boring stuff. So thanks for watching, and honestly, having an SEO agency is awesome. I love it, but at the same time, if you don't get this right, it's going to be horrible. So please make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss another video from me. And I pinky promise I won't say to stop being a little bitch again. And if you enjoyed this video, if it helped you, please smash a like on it.